hopefully things go well for your bargaining committee, and if they do, they'll reach what's called a tentative settlement, sometimes referred to as a memorandum of settlement. And what happens then is they take that memorandum of settlement back to the bargaining unit. The employer has to do a similar process. So for the union, you'll get an email. It used to be you'd get a package in the mail, but I think now all of our chapters do this, by way of email. So it will likely include a summary from your bargaining committee. Dear Bob, your bargaining committee is recommending ratification of the proposed changes of the collective agreement. Here they are. They might be described in a summary form. And then in addition, you should be able to see the entire memorandum of settlement so that you can review it in detail to see, oh, okay, they changed this, or oh no, they tweaked that. And you as an individual then have to decide, are you in favor of the memorandum of settlement? Click yes or click no. In order for the collective agreement to be ratified, a majority, i.e. 50% plus one, of union members need to vote in favor of the proposed changes. The employer, and in most cases, this is somewhat of a rubber stamp. Hopefully the employer side hasn't agreed to a tentative settlement without knowing that their board or whoever has the power to ratify, that they have support from that board. But some of our boards are elected, and you never know what might happen. So there could be someone on a library board who all of a sudden, falls ill and they die, and then now the composition of the board is changed, or anything can happen where maybe the circumstances changed, anything, and the employer now says we didn't ratify. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but it can happen. So you want both sides want to make sure that happens in a relatively timely way. And if both sides do ratify, then the collective agreement, somebody has the task of going and changing the language in the collective agreement, and you'll be sent a new PDF or a nice printed copy, and you'll have your new collective agreement until it comes time for the next round of bargaining. I will say maybe one other thing, sometimes things come up midterm, and you might sign a 5-year deal. Often our chapters sign 3-year deals, but let's say you're midway through a collective agreement. If something comes up, there's nothing that stops the parties from addressing it midterm. Those are sometimes called letters of agreement or letters of understanding to change some language in the collective agreement or clarify. Maybe language is a bit ambiguous and needs some further clarification. That's possible as well. But unions typically do that relatively cautiously, and if it's going to impact a significant number of members, would certainly be going back to the membership to make sure that we had consensus to those changes.